Hey guys, hope you all had a good 4-day break. And as today is a work day, okay, I've posted some subject verb agreement stuff that we would have been doing this week in class together to start with, okay. Tomorrow we will have Google Meets and we will discuss the Crucible and try to finish that play up this week tomorrow and Friday because I'll see both the groups tomorrow and Friday. But right now we're going to start some NoRedInk. We're continuing our subject verb agreement. We're going to look at some tricky ones today. Ones that sometimes confuse people because of using collective nouns or because the subject and verb are separated by a phrase, okay? And then we'll talk about who and what to. But we're going to start here with the collective nouns. Now, remember, the collective noun is when a noun represents a group, okay? But you treat it as a singular thing. So, for instance, team is a collective noun, okay? Because it is a group that makes up it's individuals that make up one group thing. Okay, so that's what a collective noun is. So there's members of the team, but the team itself is one thing. All right. So when you see this, usually it's going to have some sort of descriptor behind it, like this one's team of swimmers, this one's teams of soccer players. All right. The descriptors don't matter. Okay, your verbs always go back to the collective noun. All right. We ignore the descriptors, the adjectives, the prepositional phrase, whatever it is, and it goes back to the collective noun, and that's how you figure out which verb to use there. All right. So let's erase this and let's try one together. There's probably a fast way to do this. I'm sure some of your other teachers already know that, but just bear with me. All right. So let's practice. Oh, let's skip this tutorial because I just said all that, but you might want to go through it if you need to, okay? All right. 5 baseball teams gathers in Mustafa's yard every summer for a tournament. Okay, so right here is our collective noun. It's teams. It's more than one. Okay, so it's plural. It has the S, and we know that usually if it has S, that means our verb does not need to have S. Okay, remember, usually plural verbs do not have S. Singular verbs do. We need a plural verb there. So 5 baseball teams gather in Mustafa's yard. Let's submit that. Great. Okay. Let's just do one more together. All right. So if the school of fish need to be fed. All right. So we're looking at school here. All right. That's our collective noun. All right. It's all the fish make up the school. We don't need to pay attention to this. Notice no S here on our singular. So this needs to have an S. All right. So I would change that there and submit that. That would be right. All right. Let's look at a different type now real quick. Let's see how that takes back. All right. Let's look at phrases that are separated by the subject and verb. All right. So what we mean are separated by is that you're usually going to have some sort of phrase in the middle here. Okay. We've talked about participle phrases. We've talked about prepositional phrases. We've talked about how to punctuate which and that when those additional phrases are there. This is the same thing. All right. We're just making sure that we don't get distracted by this. Now, this is one that definitely pops up on the ACT. Okay. The ACT is good about giving you distractions. They try to distract you with all this mess here, these phrases to separate your subject and your verb. All right. Sometimes they'll be easy to notice because they'll be in a positive phrase, which means they'll have the commas around them like this, and sometimes they won't. So you have to make sure you pay attention to what's going on. All right. But Dave, along with many brothers, is a big fan of Harry Potter books. Okay. Now look, if we didn't skip Dave here, if we didn't skip this phrase, we could be confused because brothers is plural. All right. But it's not only talking about the brothers. The subject, the one who is a big fan currently, is Dave. That's why Dave goes with the is. All right. And that's kind of our rule, is that when it's connected with one of these phrases like this, along with, as well, together, besides, in addition, we ignore that, okay? And we just make it go back to the verb, go back to the subject. The black couches are very stylish, all right? If we read this, we would be confused, all right? So we ignore it. 1 second. All right, so let's do a quick practice of this. I think y'all probably got that, but let's just make sure. Let's erase all this. Erase. Oh no, guys, I'm so lame. It's okay. All right. So let's try some practice. All right. So right here already we can see the distraction. It's marked clearly for us. Okay, as well as Mustafa. That's additional information. It's not really relevant to the sentence. It's something different. All right. So we know that my parents is going to be the noun. Okay, or parents really is going to be the noun. All right. So parents is plural, and a plural verb is not is. Okay, even is and are follow that same rule. Okay, because is still has the s. So my parents are going on a cruise. So we would change this to are. Great. All right. Let's do one more. The blue shirt, not the red one, looked better with my skirt. Okay. So it's talking about the blue shirt and how it looks. Okay. So we can skip this here. It's irrelevant. We skip this phrase. We don't need to pay attention to that. Blue shirt is singular. Singular nouns usually have S, so I would need to put S here. Submit that. Bada bing, bada bing. You'll be in good shape. All right. And let's look at our last one. When we have who or whom. Okay. So it says when who, that, or which come between a subject and a verb, use the noun before it to figure out whether the verb should be singular or plural. Okay, so it's the exact same rule. Notice that we're skipping all this stuff here. I use my fingers, that doesn't help you. Notice we're skipping, we're not paying attention to all these phrases here. Okay, we're going back, we're finding our verb, we're finding the subject by asking who or what is doing the action, who or what is doing the being, and we go back and we find it. All right, so it's not really any different than what we've been doing. It just has that, who, or which with it, which I already know how to punctuate that and which. We kind of studied that earlier on our ACT Wednesdays. So let's practice one together, and then we'll be finished with this, all right? The train that go past Oliver Wood's house has a whistle that makes his hair stand in, okay? So don't be distracted by that. It's still the train that go. We train is singular. Once again, I should be doing this. Train is singular. So we need a singular verb here. So we need to add the S, but because it's go, it would be ES, and that would be goes. All right. So let me actually type that in. Oops. Is that funny? Okay. Hopefully that's right. Even with these little distractions behind me. All right. My little parrot back here. All right. The shirts that Cedric Diggory bought don't all fits in his closet. Okay. So the shirts, this is the phrase we need to pay attention to. The shirts don't all fits. Well, shirts is plural, fits is plural, fits is singular, sorry, because it has the S. When you get rid of the S, it'd be the shirts don't all fit in his closet. We would submit that would be right. All right, guys, so it's pretty straightforward. I just wanted to review that. These do show up on the ACT. They try to distract you with them. They're also tricky because the ACT will underline part of it and not the whole thing, and expect you to forget to go back and look what comes before it. So the ACT might set it up like this, and then put a 1 over it, and then you have your answer over here. And so you would see Cedric Diggory. You're in a hurry because you're going past ACT. You see bought, okay, and you don't, or you see Cedric Diggory fits, and you think, well, that's right because Cedric Diggory fits. You don't really pay attention, and you mark the wrong thing. Okay, so be careful on the ACT and make sure that you look backwards too to actually see where the sentence starts, not just the underline portion. All right. Okay. So if you have any questions, I'm here today, all day. So just email me or whatever, and I'll be glad to help you. Okay. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow for Google Meet. I'll post the time, but it'll be during that new schedule, first block. So I think that starts around 8:30. So I'll probably get on around 8:30, 8:40, and we'll be on for a little while listening to that Crucible and talking about stuff. All right. Bye, guys.